Darjeeling District is the northernmost district of the state of West Bengal in eastern India in the foothills of the Himalayas. The district is famous for its beautiful hill stations and Darjeeling tea. Darjeeling is the district headquarters. Kalimpong, Kurseong and Siliguri, three other major towns in the district, are the subdivisional headquarters of the district. Miruk, another town of the district, has been developed as a lake resort since the late 1970s. Geographically, the district can be divided into two broad divisions, the hills and the plains. The entire hilly region of the district comes under the Gorkhaland Territorial Administration, a semi-autonomous administrative body under the state government of West Bengal. This body covers the three hill subdivisions of Darjeeling, Kurseong and Kalimpong. The foothills of Darjeeling Himalayas, which comes under the Siliguri subdivision, is known as the Terai. The district is bounded on the north by Sikkim, on the south by Kishanganj district of Bihar state, on the east by Jalpaiguri district and on the west by Nepal. Darjeeling district has a length from north to south of 18 miles and a breadth from east to west of 16 miles. As of 2011 it was the second least populous district of West Bengal, after Dakshin Dinajpur. History. The name Darjeeling comes from the Tibetan words Dorya and Ling, meaning the land of the thunderbolt. The history of Darjeeling district is linked to that of the Sikkim East India Company, Nepal and Bhutan. Most of Darjeeling formed a part of dominions of the Chogyal of Sikkim, who had been engaged in an unsuccessful warfare against the Gorkhas of Nepal. From 1780, the Gorkhas made several attempts to capture the entire region of Darjeeling. By the beginning of 19th century, they had overrun Sikkim as far eastward as the Titha River and had conquered and annexed the Terai. In the meantime, the British were engaged in preventing the Gorkhas from overrunning the whole of the northern frontier. The Anglo-Gorkha War broke out in 1814, which resulted in the defeat of the Gorkhas and subsequently led to the signing of the Sugar-Slurry Treaty in 1815. According to the treaty, Nepal had to cede all those territories which the Gorkhas had annexed from the Chogyal of Sikkim to the British East India Company. In 1817, through the Treaty of Tatalia, the British East India Company reinstated the Chogyal of Sikkim, restored all the tracts of land between the Mechi and the Titha rivers to the Chogyal of Sikkim and guaranteed his sovereignty. In 1835, the hill of Darjeeling, including an enclave of 138 square miles, was given to the British East India Company by Sikkim. In November 1864, the Treaty of Sintula was executed, in which the Bhutan Doas with the passes leading into the hills and Kalimpong were ceded to the British by Bhutan. The Darjeeling district can be said to have assumed its present shape and size in 1866 with an area of 1234 square miles. Before 1861 and from 1870 to 1874, Darjeeling district was a non-regulated area. From 1862 to 1870, it was considered a regulated area. The phrase non-regulated area was changed to scheduled district in 1874 and again to backward tracts in 1919. The status was known as partially excluded area from 1935 until the independence of India. Gorkhaland movement during the 1980s. The Gorkha National Liberation Front led an intensive and often violent campaign for the creation of a separate Gorkhaland state within India, across the Nepali-speaking areas in northern West Bengal. The movement reached its peak around 1986 to 1987. 1888 but ended with the establishment of the Darjeeling Gorkha Hill Council in 1988. The hill areas of Darjeeling enjoyed some measure of autonomy under the Darjeeling Gorkha Hill Council. However, the aspirations of the people of Darjeeling and the surrounding areas were not fulfilled, and the demand for full statehood within India has emerged. Once again, with the Gorkha Janmukti Morcha as its chief proponent, the Gorkha Land Territorial Administration replaced the DGHC in August 2012 after the GJM signed an agreement with the government. Geography. The Darjeeling Hill area is formed of comparatively recent rock structure that has a direct bearing on landslides. Heavy monsoon precipitation contributes to the landslides. Soils of Darjeeling Hill areas are extremely varied, depending on elevation, degree of slope, vegetative cover and geolithology. The Himalayas serve as the source of natural resources for the population residing in the hills as well as in the plains. As human population expands in the hills, forests are being depleted for the extension of agricultural lands, introduction of new settlements, roadways, etc. The growing changes coming in the wake of urbanization and industrialization leave deep impressions on the hill ecosystem. The economy of Darjeeling Hill area depends on tea production, horticulture, agriculture, forestry and tourism. The major portions of the forests are today found at elevations of 2,000 meters and above. The area in between 1,000 to 2,000 meters is cleared either for tea plantation or cultivation. About 30% of the forest covers found in the lower hills are deciduous. Evergreen forest constitutes only about 6% of the total forest coverage. Shorei robusta remains the most prominent species of tropical moist deciduous forest, along with heavy undergrowth. Tether, Rangit, Mechi, Balasan, Mahananda, Lish, Gish, Chal, Raman, Murti and Jaldaka are the important rivers of the district. Climate divisions. Subdivisions. Darjeeling District comprises 4 subdivisions: Darjeeling-Sadar Subdivision, Kalimpong Subdivision, Kurseong Subdivision, Siliguri Subdivision. Assembly constituencies. The district was previously divided into 5 assembly constituencies, as per order of the Delimitation Commission in respect of the delimitation of constituencies in West Bengal. The district has been divided into 6 assembly constituencies: Kalimpong, Darjeeling, Kurseong, Matigara, Naxalbari, Siliguri and Fansidwa. Fansidwa constituency will continue to be reserved for scheduled tribes candidates. Matigara Naxalbari constituency will be reserved for scheduled castes candidates, along with 1 assembly constituency from North Dinajpur district. The 6 assembly constituencies of this district will form the Darjeeling Lok Sabha constituency. Demographics. According to the 2011 census, Darjeeling District has a population of 1,846,823, roughly equal to the nation of Kosovo. This gives it a ranking of 257th in India. The district has a population density of 586 inhabitants per square kilometre. Its population growth rate over the decade 2001 to 2011 was 14.77%. Darjeeling has a sex ratio of 970 females for every 1,000 males and a literacy rate of 79.56%. In 2001, the population of the district was 1,609,172. The rural population was 1,088,740 and urban population was 520,432. Total males were 830,644 and females were 778,528. The density of population was 511 per square kilometers. The decennial population growth rate was 23.79%. The original inhabitants of the Darjeeling Hills were the Lepchas, or Rongpa as they prefer themselves to be known as. They are decidedly Mongolian in physical features. The Limbas are another ancient inhabitants of this district. The greater bulk of the people in the hills today are the Gorkhas. They are industrious and enterprising as a race and speak Nepali and other dialects. Among the population of the Sherpas, they are well known for their contributions to mountaineering. Also much in evidence in the hills of the Densongpas. There is also a sizable population of Tibetans who arrived from Tibet since the 1950s. In the plains, one will find several communities like the Gorkhas, the Adivasi people originally from Chotanagpur and Santhal Parganas, and a greater bulk of Bengali people. Languages. The official language of all of West Bengal is Bengali, and Nepali is also recognized as official language in Darjeeling and Kurseong subdivisions of the district of Darjeeling. The major languages spoken in Darjeeling District are Nepali, Bengali and Hindi, are predominant in Terai region of Plain Siliguri subdivision. Other languages spoken are Bantawa, Bijori, Bodo, Chamling, Dzongkha, Gurung, Kamta, Kaling, Kisan, Lepcha, Lomi, Limbu, Sherpa, Sikkimese and Tamang. Flora and fauna. In 1986, Darjeeling District became home to Neera Valley National Park, which has an area of 88 square kilometers. It is also home to Singalila National Park, which was set up in 1986 as a wildlife sanctuary and converted to a national park in 1992. It has an area of 79 square kilometers. Darjeeling District has 3 wildlife sanctuaries: Jorpokri, Mahananda, and Senchal.